Shalom, Kal Halal, Yahweh, Bashem Yahushai, Bashem Rachakwadash, double honors unto the apostles of Great Millstone, who rule well, who I learned this truth from, and salutations unto you, Akim and Aquathim, that do take heed, coming back again through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bashem Yahushai, Bashem Rachakwadash. I'm just going to get into this lesson about how this truth, is multiplying upon the earth, pursuing the scriptures. Right, because I believe it's in the book of Second Ezra where it mentions the truth that had been so long without fruit, shall basically be fruitful. I'm roughly paraphrasing, which basically just means that this earth has not witnessed the truth for centuries, man. Really, to be honest, from the time of Yahushai, when he was crucified and risen again. I was gonna say died, but he didn't really die. He was risen. He died, he was dead for 3 days and 3 nights. On the third day he was risen. And after him, his apostles and his disciples, which were called the Christians or followers of the Anointed, that's what Christian means, they were persecuted and killed. Alright. And after that, you had Israelites ruling the Byzantine, what Esau calls the Byzantine Empire or Byzantium Empire, right? During the Dark Ages. And they didn't have the truth. There were Israelites that were still worshiping idols, man. Idolatry in the form or guise of Christianity. Okay? But it tells you that in the book of 2 Ezra 7 and 28. One of my favorite scriptures, because it basically outlines what I'm talking about. It basically says after Yahushua died, and all men that have life, which is what? This truth. Right? The world shall be turned into the old silence 7 days. Right? And that basically means that, again, this world had no truth for, again, a little, maybe under 2,000 years, because during the late 1960s and 70s is when the Lord started really fully dealing with Israelites and put back that breath of life into them. Right? He put back that breath of life through great men like Abba Bibbins, High Priest Ariyah, right? King Masha, High Priest Yaquab, right? The great men, all the way down to the apostles and elders on down, right? And again, that's when you had this truth coming out, this word, which is truth. You people didn't know truth. You just knew basically lies, man. Traditions of men. That's all they knew, was traditions of men. You know what I mean? And right now we're in the Great Awakening. We're in the great time of the prophets being on the street and being a spectacle to the earth, right? Because we're a spectacle. We're made a spectacle into the world. And then people have their own whatever opinion, man. Most of the scoffers. Some actually fear and see the truth, and they know they can't do anything. They just have to wait for their appointed judgment. Others inquire and, again, they either scoff or, disregard the word. But again, man, it reminded me yesterday when we were on the highways, we were talking about the same topic, about nations flowing unto us and they're going to be ministers unto us. And you had a bunch of people randomly out of nowhere just coming, flowing, and it was a bunch of Japhites. And I was looking at that and I said, man, that's like, you can't imagine in the kingdom, these are all people, these are all spirits, but they're going to be flowing unto you, and they're going to be serving you, they're going to be ministers unto you, and this is going to be the popular thing. The Israelites, the really starting with the elect, they're going to be the supermen, the rock stars, the popular guys, the stars, man. They're going to shine. Everything that you deem cool in this world, you're going to find out is actually demonic and evil as hell. and not good for your soul. That's what you're going to find out. Alright? So this is Isaiah 2 and start at 1. It reads, the word that Isaiah the son of Amos saw concerning Judah and Jerusalem. And it shall come to pass in the last days. We're in the last days right now. Matter of fact, the last days really started during the time of John the Baptist. Because the Lord said from the days of John the Baptist until now, the kingdom of heaven suffereth violence. And the kingdom of heaven is not speaking about a physical kingdom. The kingdom of heaven starts with you Israelites. Because the people, the place is not named for the place sake, but for the people's sake. The place is named for the people's sake. Yerushalayim means city of peace. Zion means monument. These are all names that you have physical places, but these are Israelites, man. Without the Israelites, those places would have no effect, no substance, no meaning. Right? And it shall come to pass that in the last days, we're in the last days right now. We're in the last of the last days, so you can understand. This is the time, man. This is the time. There's no more time, man. You know? There's no more time. Right? It says that the mountain of the Lord's Yahweh's house shall be established in the top of the mountains, and shall be exalted above the hills, and all nations shall flow unto it. And what does that mean? His mountain is his system, his government. Because in the scriptures, when you read mountains sometimes and hills, that represents nations and governments, kingdoms. That's why you have the term a summit meeting, with the top leaders of the world meet, right? And they have counsel and discuss matters. It's called a summit meeting. The word summit, it means the top pinnacle of a mountain, right? It all ties in, right? So guess what? What did it say? It shall come to pass in the last days that the mountain of the Lord Yahweh's house shall be established in the top of the mountains. So this is going to be the it thing, man. You're not going to hear about Post Malone or the Raptors or Drake or Meek Mill and Bugattis and Lamborghinis. This is the fashion of the world. We're going to have all kinds of other things in the kingdom that's 10 times more. Because right now, you brothers got to remember, everything you're seeing now, all it is extravagance on the left-hand side. That's all it is. This is not the end-all be-all, man. This is not even the beginning, okay? This is the negative. You know, you're not even at zero here, man. You're at negative. On the right-hand side, the extravagancies are 10 times better, man. And they're good for you, and they keep you healthy, and you can prosper and live a long life, man. You can scam and cheat and do bad things in this kingdom, man. In your 20s and your 30s, set you up for your 40s and 50s, and you can get got in your 50s and 60s, man. You can't even enjoy that shit. You got panic attacks, anxiety. You gotta live with the shit you did. The bad things you did, man, that you know are bad. You know? You gotta live with that shit. So again, man, and shall be exalted above the hills, and all nations shall flow into it. Because again, this is gonna be the it thing. This is gonna be the popular thing in the kingdom. Alright? This is gonna be the popular thing, and all these nations are gonna see it. Because you know why? They're gonna see the power. Alright, they're gonna see the power, and they have no choice but to flow into it. Just like everybody, what does everybody flock and flow into? The new Jordans, the new fucking iPhone X. People camp, man. People camp a week outside in minus 30 temperatures for a corruptible fucking device that's just gonna waste your time. You're not gonna do much. You're not gonna get much productivity with it. You know. Verse 3: And many people shall go and say, Come ye, and let us go up to the mountain of the Lord Yahweh, to the house of the power of Jacob. See, so they're gonna know, because we're telling you now, but you're gonna see it. The Lord is dealing with the Israelites, man, starting with the elect. So what are all the many people? The Japhites, the Ishmaelites, the Elamites, the Edomites, the Moabites, The Ashurites, all these nations, man. They're gonna say, hey, this is it, man. This is the truth. This is the power. We can only witness it, and they're gonna know that, man. You can only witness it. You other nations are not gonna be a part of this, man. You don't have an inheritance in this, man. You don't have anything to do with this. You're just gonna have to minister and keep the laws to the best of your ability. And when you don't, the Lord is gonna send sentinels and jack you up, man. Judgment upon you. But you other nations have no inheritance. You don't have a part. Your part in the kingdom of heaven is being servants and ministers, man. Okay? That's how the Lord deals with that. Alright, again. And many people shall go and say, come ye, and let us go up to the mountain of the Lord Yahweh, to the house of the God of Jacob, and he will teach us of his ways, and we will walk in his paths. Exactly. But you're not going to be kings and priests in a nation called by his name. You're just going to be ministers. After the 1,000-year captivity, the Edomites are going to be burnt up. It's going to be a nice bonfire celebration. And you other nations, you're gonna go back to your own borders, because the Lord's about balance. Elam's gonna go back to Elam, Moab to Moab, etc., etc. And you guys you're not gonna have your idol gods. If there's idol gods, guess what? The elect, the Israelites, the his men that have the spiritual power, however the order is set up, they're gonna jack you up, man. They're gonna be like the angels, but they're not gonna be celestial or terrestrial. They're gonna be just extraterrestrial, meaning they go to the bathroom, they have sex, they eat, they drink, but they have spiritual abilities or capabilities. All right. For out of Zion shall go forth the law and the word of the Lord Yahweh from Jerusalem. Again, you people can read this all you want and try to apply it. Oh, see, the nations. This is talking about after the destruction, when only the elect will be saved by the Lord from this coming destruction. Okay? And in the kingdom, you guys keep forgetting, man. Who's going to build up the kingdom? How are the streets of Jerusalem going to be paved with gold and all kinds of precious stones? It's by your workforce, man. We need labor. Okay, just like we, the Israelites, served you for over 500 years, man. Forget the 100 and whatever, or 200 years in America. We're talking about over 500 years, man, from north, central, south, and the surrounding islands of America. That built up the world economy, that let America actually flow into the age of industrialism, or the Industrial Revolution. That was the sweat and labor of the Israelites, man, all the tribes. Okay, so it gave that great kickstart for America against the rest of the world. Well, guess what? We're going to have the same thing from all nations. You're going to serve us. It's only right, man. Alright? It says, and he shall judge among the nations, and shall rebuke many people, and they shall beat their swords into plowshares, and their spears into pruning hooks, meaning they're not going to learn war anymore, because the Lord doesn't need that. The Lord's not going to have the wars upon. He's not going to have the Korean War, the World War I, Vietnam, Iraq. You're not going to need that, because at the end of the day, when all these nations are in captivity, right, they're going to be at peace, man. And the only judgment that's going to happen is, again, when they go off. But there's not going to be M16s, there's not going to be swords, there's not going to all kinds of grenades, mines. You're not going to have that, man. You're not going to have helicopters with the air support, airstrikes, tanks. You're not going to have those things, man. Okay? It tells you the wolf shall dwell with the lamb. So the Lord is going to create the Garden of Eden all over again for the Israelites. Alright? Nation shall not lift up sword against nation, neither shall they learn anymore. Neither shall they learn war anymore. Okay? And I'm going to get this in the book of Daniel 6. And again, these nations, they know, man. A lot of these nations, they know what the deal is, because the Lord has been proving Israel among them for millenniums, man. Okay, this is Daniel 6 and 25. Then King Darius, he was a Elamite, Persian, right? Because he had a few Dariuses. I believe the first Darius, he was actually a Mede. He wasn't a Persian because he had the Medes that it was a Medo-Persian Empire. So the Medes, the Medes were Japhetic, if I'm not mistaken. They were first, as rulers, and then the Persians took over later. One of the most famous Persian kings, other than Xerxes, because the movie 300, was Cyrus the Great. Because why? He was the one that kickstarted. Actually, when you read Isaiah, somewhere in the 40 chapter, 41 or 42, he was the one that the Lord used to kickstart the rebuilding of the temple, and letting Israelites do certain things, keep their laws, and basically, really, the main thing was build that temple. When you read the book of Nehemiah, you had men like Zerubbabel and all these other men, Nehemiah, the prophets, right? They were just coming out of the Babylonian captivity. Ezra's too, right? He was around that time, and they were in the Persian captivity, but the Lord put the spirit on Cyrus to let them do that. And then you had the various kings like Darius, that they were the Israelites were building the temple, building up the temple during that time. So this is Darius witnessing. This is after the lion's den, that they tried to throw Daniel into the lion's den, and he was proved to be a man of the Lord. So this is what Darius is writing, right? It says, "Then King Darius wrote unto all people, nations, and languages that dwell in all the earth, peace be multiplied unto you. I make a decree that in every dominion of my kingdom men tremble and fear before the God of Daniel." See? So he's testifying that they have their own idols and gods that they believe because they're the other nations. That's their spirit. But there's going to come a time, my point I'm making is, there's going to come a time when these nations, they're going to throw away their idols and they're going to see, okay, this is the Lord. There's only one living power, man. And he's dealing with the children of Israel. And that's the hard facts, man. The truth that this devil, the so-called white man, has been hiding for centuries. Okay? Try to demonize the Israelites. And for he is the living God and steadfast forever, and his kingdom that which shall not be destroyed, and his dominion shall be even unto the end. He delivereth and rescueth, and he worketh signs and wonders in heaven and in earth. So you see, there's going to be, the Lord is going to start doing strange things once again, signs and wonders in heaven and in earth, because the Lord is peculiar. He has a peculiar nature about him, and his people are peculiar as well. And he does strange and controversial things, man, that causes controversy and speculations and wonders. What is wonder? When you look at something and you have your mouth open like and you're just wondering, man. You're like, what is this? What power made this? What is going on? Just like when people see the chariots, they can only but wonder. They can't talk shit. People just, sometimes they talk shit, oh, the aliens are coming and all this garbage, but for the most part, you just look and you just, damn, like, what is that? That's not BMW, man. That's not a military weapon. That's something you just look and you just say, yo, man, that's something else. And you just wonder at it. Well, the Lord is getting ready to do those things again and dealing with men in a very spiritual way. Right? Who hath delivered Daniel from the power of the lions? So this Daniel prospered in the reign of Darius and in the reign of Cyrus the Persian. Right? So, again, the Lord deals in those kinds of ways. I'm going to get the scripture here. Because again, we're speaking these things to you, but we fully don't know how it's going to play out. Like how it's exactly going to look or be. We're giving you the general outline. In the book of Deuteronomy 29 and 29, it says the secret things belong unto the Lord, but those things which he had made known belong unto us and our children. Right? In Amos 3 and 7, it says the Lord will do nothing but he revealeth his secrets unto his servants the prophets. So we know what the Lord gives us. And what he gives us is the truth, man. All right? The complete understanding of the Bible. These Christians for decades, man, for centuries, they have not been able to break things down in the scriptures. They wrestle and teeter and totter, but they can't break down the scriptures. Right? This is Ecclesiasticus 36:1. Have mercy upon us, O Lord, power of all, and behold us, and send thy fear upon all the nations that seek not after thee. And that's what's coming. The Lord is going to put, it says in the book of Joshua, he shall begin at this time to put his fear and dread upon you, or upon all the nations. You know, back in the ancient world, man, when we were warring and doing great things through the Spirit of the Lord, you know, these other nations would see an Israelite man and they would tremble, man. They would fear. They would have great fear, to the point of just subjection. There's no fight, because that's how powerful the Lord made us. He dealt with us on such a high level that we were like almost like the manifestation of the Lord. We're basically his representatives. And the Lord is a fierce power, man. He's merciful, he's humble, he's meek, but he's also a jealous power, a man of indignation, of righteous anger, of rage. He's a man of war. So a warrior, man, I'm talking about a real complete warrior. You notice, like, real warriors, man, they walk in a meek way. They don't walk with their chest puffed out and I'm better than him, and that's a beta. That's a beta male, an insecure guy. You're trying to prove something to other men. You don't have anything to prove. The only thing you have to prove is to yourself. That's why it says in the scriptures, test or prove thy soul. Matter of fact, I'm going to get that. I believe it's in the Apocrypha, though. Yeah, it's in the Apocrypha. I'm not going to get it because it's in the Apocrypha. It's on this app. I'm going to lose the scripture. But if the Spirit brings it out, I'll bring it out later. But it basically says, prove thy soul. Test thy soul to see what is evil for it, and give not that which is evil unto it. So you gotta, the only thing to test and prove is yourself, man. How much you're getting better. That's the only thing. You can't control other people's emotions, other people's perspectives, how they look at you. No, you can't live through other people's eyes, right? So a warrior, man, he walks humble, he walks meek, but at the same time, at the split of a second, he'll fuck you up, man. Right? So again, man, that's a very serious thing, and that's Kal Halalim La Yahweh Bashim Yoshai. All praises to Yahweh Bashim Yoshai for that. We're in that great time. Okay, this is not that time of when an Israelite couldn't look an Edomite in the eyes, man. He had to keep his head down and cross the street. This ain't that fucking time, man. This is the time of the exact opposite. When are you Israelites gonna be tired, man, of these Edomites talking shit about you at their tables and making jokes and just systematically messing you up? But you gotta act hard to another Jake and try to prove yourself, man. It says verse 2 or 3, lift up thy hand against the strange nations and let them see thy power, and thou wast sanctified in us before them, so be thou magnified among them before us, and let them know thee as we have known thee, that there is no power but only thou, O power. Show new signs and make other strange wonders. Glorify thy hand and thy right arm, that they may set forth thy wondrous works. See, so show new signs and make other strange wonders, man. You're gonna see a lot of things, man. Just don't bug out. The Spirit really got to be dealing with you, and it'll tell you certain things. You might not know what you're seeing, but the Spirit will confirm it, and then you know. You know, like, I can't explain it, but there's certain things you know before you know it. And I don't know, whoever understood that just now, then you know you've been through it as well. But certain things you see or you think you don't know, right away it's like you always knew it. You know it for your whole life. That's the Spirit working with you, and that's how it's gonna be. It's gonna be, hey, it says the Spirit quickeneth, man, but the flesh is weak. We can't comprehend too many things in this flesh, because our spirits will have to just jump out. We're gonna have to astral project, because these bodies can't handle. They can't comprehend too much high level, man. Raise up indignation and pour out wrath. Take away the adversary and destroy the enemy. See? It said take away the adversary and destroy the enemy. Who's that? Starting with the so-called white man, who is a physical counterpart of Satan on this earth. What does Satan mean? Satan means adversary. Right? Satan means adversary. Enemy. This devil, you can't tell me he's not an enemy. He's an enemy. He's an enemy to himself, man. He's an enemy. He's an enemy to this earth, right? Yeah, Salakia. Yeah, I'm walking through a pathway, and you got these geese out here, man. I don't know if you've seen the videos of the people being attacked. There's a lot of spirits are jumping on the geese, but it was the mom and dad, and they had the two little babies or whatever, and they were like shipping at me because I'm getting close. And I told them, hey, let me get through. And all of a sudden, there was wind that just the wind came through that area. You can kind of hear it. The wind came through, and they started kind of like subjecting, like kind of like moving away, and I just walked around them. You know, that's the spirit, man. That's Brakateo Shai. But yeah, man, this is serious, man. This deal is very serious. You know, I just remember when we first came out, we were speaking these things, and down the line, the Lord, through our path, you know, this path that we've been blessed to walk upon, man, the Lord has been dealing with us with so much, and He's been revealing things multifold, things that you never thought of, you know, that you kind of look at in a different way, you know, and it's gonna exponentially rise, you know, because He's gonna start peeling back more and more, you know, because we've been conditioned so much by the natural man, this devil Esau, to accept things naturally and rationally and basically carnally, and to be closed-minded to the spiritual. Even though this devil, he won't tell you, but he deals with magic and witchcraft, which is spiritual, and he puts it in his cartoons for you kids and the movies, right? It says, verse 6 again, show new signs and make other strange wonders, glorify thy hand and thy right arm, that they may set forth thy wondrous works. See? Raise up indignation and pour out wrath, take away the adversary and destroy the enemy. Make, it says sake, but the scripture is make the time short. Remember the covenant and let them declare thy wonderful works. So it said make the time short. And hey, man, this time is speeding up, man. It's already June, you know. It was just February. There was just snow everywhere, man. This thing is getting sped up, because the Lord is it says the devil shall come down having great wrath, knowing that he has a short time. In the book of Revelations, right? It says let him that escapeth be consumed by the rage of the fire. Right? And let them perish that oppress the people. Who oppresses the people, man? Who taxes people? You're not supposed to be taxed. Taxation is a form of subjection. You know, taxation is a form of subjection. How else does he oppress you? He oppresses you through the damn food, through the water. He's changing the chemical structures in your body, your DNA. He oppresses you from the sky with the fucking chemtrails, man. He oppresses you spiritually, oppresses you without you even knowing it, man. That's the worst part of it. You don't even know you're being oppressed. He's got you in such an enchantment, right? Verse 10, smite and sunder the heads of the rulers of the heathen that say there is none other but we. Gather all the tribes of Jacob together and inherit thou them as from the beginning. See, as from the beginning, man, he's going to inherit them. You other nations, you have nothing to do with this. This is a peculiar private club, okay? that was it on that. So with that, I want to say Kal Halalim La Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahushai Ba'Hashem Rachakodash. The belongers to the apostles of GMS who I learned the truth from, who do well. And salutations unto you, Akim and Aquathim, that do take heed. I hope you're edified, and may Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahushai increase your faiths. Until next time, Lord's will. Shalom.